Cliff Nation, stand up. We the voice of the fans, from the east to the west side. United we stand, telling all the Raider tales, transactions and more. With our eyes on the prize, we ready to soar. Cliff Nation, let's ride. Painted skies in our heart, from the draft to the game day. Yeah.
What's going on, Raider Nation? This is your man Cliff Thornton from the Raider Fan Podcast. Let's get right into last week's games. We saw the Denver in the Buffalo Bills game go into overtime. One of the most controversial plays, one of the most controversial games in a long time. That interception, was he down by contact, between Buffalo and Denver? A lot of people are complaining, home field advantage. And then that same play happened with the Rams in Chicago. Two similar plays, two very different outcomes. I believe Buffalo Bills got robbed in that game. I don't have a horse in the race. I'm more against Denver than I am against Buffalo, being a Raider fan. But it's a shame because that was a good game. It's unfortunate that it had to come down to the referees. That was, to me, one of the better games that was played in the wild card in the divisional games. I feel bad for Buffalo. I feel bad for the players, but you made a lot of mistakes. So it's not like you didn't put yourself in a bad situation. You guys are too experienced, but Josh Allen is carrying that team. He has been for multiple years, and hopefully things will change. The head coach, Sean McCormick, gets fired probably because of that game. They can never get over that hump. Whoever takes that job is going to have really good weapons. I think you probably need one more. You probably need that one other wide receiver and probably one more defensive guy to really solidify that team. So it's going to be interesting to see who takes over that organization. The other game I want to talk about, the New England Patriots and the Houston Texans. I will be honest, I was a little afraid of Houston. I really didn't think they would be as bad as they were in New England. I thought they would actually beat New England Patriots. I didn't think the Patriots had enough to beat them. But that was a terrible game. That was about 10 turnovers. Both teams turned the ball over. It looked like the game was way too big for Houston. And after a while, New England settled in. I mean, you got Josh McDaniels, an offensive coordinator, Mike Vrabel, a good head coach. He's got good experience. So it seemed like the experience, the crowd, the weather is that old New England. Come to our house and let's play, in January type of thing. So it's going to be interesting to see because they go to Denver. Now, Denver loses. They lose their starting quarterback. Stidham is going to be the new starting quarterback. I don't have any confidence in that scenario. A quarterback that hasn't really played all year, and now you're in the AFC Championship game with versus a team who's riding a high horse with a coaching staff that's very experienced. So I think you're going to see. I'm going to say it. You're going to see New England in the Super Bowl. I don't see Denver beating them at all. One of the surprising games was the Rams and the Bears. I thought Chicago would win. I knew they would get on in the fourth quarter, but they were playing some really good football in the first three quarters. So I really didn't think they would have to have a big comeback and get that impressive win, that out of the ordinary win. Although that last touchdown to tie the game, to put it into overtime from Chicago, was something I've never seen before. And, kudos to him. But then you throw an interception. Again, it's, inexperience, not making a good throw and setting up the Rams, who have a experienced coaching staff, experienced quarterback, experienced, wide receivers. They did enough to win that game. Unfortunately, they're going to Seattle, who just beat up San Francisco 41-6. The Seattle Seahawks looks like that team that's no one's going to stop them, no one's going to match them offensively, defensively, or special teams. It seems like they are firing on all cylinders. So I have New England versus Seattle, and Seattle winning the Super Bowl. We shall see how that turns out and see if Denver can change that or see if the Rams change it. I'm a Raider fan, so my team's not in it. That's what I do know. Some coaching news. I had a source reach out to me. The Raiders did interview one of my favorite coaches that I'm really hoping the Raiders really bring in is Klint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. I think he's a strong candidate. Look what he's doing in Seattle. The Raiders need an offensive-minded coach. And hopefully he brings in, hopefully the Raiders make the right decision and hire him as a head coach. I hope they learn how to build stability, give him 5 years, and keep him for 5 years. And bring some players and some coaching around him to help really build this organization to what I know it could be. Some notable coaches that are going to be interviewing or have already. Mike McDaniel, which I get it. He's pretty good offensively, an offensive-minded coach. Maybe because we're bringing in Mendoza with the number 1 pick, a young quarterback. I know Mike McDaniel did a good job with Tua. So that could be maybe as an offensive coordinator. I don't know too much about being a head coach. The John Gruden rumors had, finally slowed down, but, he's emerging elsewhere. So it's going to be interesting to see who the Raiders bring in. Again, the carousel's up there, but what I do like is that they're interviewing a lot of good name coaches and some good coordinators. They're not going after that name. I'm really glad they didn't bring in John Harbaugh. I'm really happy he didn't come. He's asking a lot, although the coach's salary doesn't go against your salary cap. But he had the best roster, for many years, and he wasn't able to do anything with that. So that's the only disturbing part about Coach Harbaugh. So hopefully he does really good in the Giants. But I'm more interested in seeing the Raiders make that move, and I'm hoping, and all signs are pointing to Klint Kubiak. He reminds me of a Johnson down in Chicago. I know Brady wanted him, but he ended up going to Chicago. So hopefully we can bring some incentive to bring in Klint Kubiak. I think he's gonna be the new head coach. A lot of sources are pointing that way. A lot of interest is pointing that way. I know a lot of players respect him and would like to play for him. That would really help out both the offense and defense, because the offense could finally move the ball, be creative, play this today atmosphere type of football, throw the ball down the field. Hopefully in the draft we can get a true number 1 receiver to go along with one of the best tight ends in the game, and I believe one of the better running backs. I won't say he's the best in Genti, but one of the better ones. So it's going to be interesting to see the next move of the Raiders. It's going to be interesting to see who wins in the championship game and then go off to the Super Bowl. So tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about the Denver and the Buffalo Bills game. Big controversy there. Is it the same or is it different with the Rams in Chicago? Similar plays, 2 different outcomes. And also let me know what your thoughts about bringing in Klint Kubiak as the head coach, as the next head coach for the Las Vegas Raiders. Like always, let's go Raiders.
Cliff Nation, stand up. We the voice of the fans, from the east to the west side. United we stand, telling all the Raider tales, transactions and more. With our eyes on the prize, we ready to soar. Cliff Nation, let's ride. Painted skies in our heart, from the draft to the game day. Yeah.